Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me. There are three things in life that will determine your success: your peace and your future, your mind, your mouth, and your money. If you cannot control them, they will control you. The battle starts in your mind. The enemy doesn't have to touch you if he can get in your head. The Bible says, as a man thinketh, so is he. If you think small, you will live small. If you think defeated, you will act defeated. But if you renew your mind daily, if you feed it wisdom, if you guard it against negativity, nothing can stop you from walking into your destiny. Your mouth is a weapon. It can build and it can destroy. It can bring life and it can bring death. Some of you are one conversation away from a breakthrough, but some of you are also one wrong word away from a downfall. You cannot say everything you feel. You cannot speak every doubt that crosses your mind. Speak life, speak victory, speak faith, even when you don't feel it, because your words shape your world. Money's a tool, but if you don't master it, it will master you. Some people are not broke because they don't earn enough. They broke because they don't manage what they have. Stop spending on what does not add value to your life. Stop buying to impress people who don't care about you. If you control your money, it will work for you. But if money controls you, it will lead you to ruin. I came to tell somebody today, get your mind right, get your mouth right, and get your money right. Don't let emotions run your decisions. Don't let impulse guide your tongue. And don't let a lack of discipline destroy your financial future. If you can control these three things, nothing can stop you from walking into the life God has for you. Now stand up and declare, I will control my mind. I will control my mouth. I will control my money. I came to tell you something today that could change your life. It could break the chains that have held you back. It could release you from the burdens that have weighed on your shoulders. And it could unlock doors that you didn't even know existed. Listen to me, your mind is the battlefield. Before you can control your mouth, before you can control your money, you must first learn to control your mind. Because every battle you will ever fight, whether it's a battle for your future, your peace, your success, your happiness, it all starts in your mind. The war is won or lost right here. The enemy doesn't have to put shackles on your hands or chains on your feet. If he can put shackles on your thought, he doesn't have to stop you physically if he can stop you mentally. If he can fill your mind with doubt, fear, insecurity, and confusion, he doesn't need to lift a finger because you will defeat yourself. Some people are living defeated lives not because of what others have done to them, but because of what they have done to themselves through the power of their own thinking. You don't believe me? Let me prove it to you. The Bible says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That means if you think you are a failure, you will act like a failure. If you think you are not good enough, you will start living beneath your potential. If you think that you will never succeed, you will sabotage every opportunity that comes your way. But if you start thinking in alignment with what God has for you, if you start thinking in alignment with success, if you start thinking in alignment with victory, you will begin to see doors open, strength rise up, and your entire life shift in the right direction. I'm not talking about some empty self-help philosophy. I'm talking about a spiritual principle that governs how life works. What you think about yourself, about your future, about your possibilities. These thoughts create the world you live in. You cannot think like a victim and live like a victor. The enemy knows this, and that's why he attacks your mind first. Before he tries to take your finances, before he tries to destroy your relationships, before he tries to ruin your reputation, he starts with your thoughts. Because if he can control your thoughts, he can control your life. Look at Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. The enemy didn't come with a sword, a spear, or an army. He came with a thought. He planted an idea in Eve's mind. Did God really say? He made her question herself. Doubt what she knew to be true and entertain a thought that ultimately led to her downfall. And if you don't control those thoughts, if you don't cast them down, they will take root and begin to shape your destiny. That's why you have to guard your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. You have to be careful what you listen to, what you watch, who you allow to speak into your life, and what you dwell on in your private thoughts. The Bible tells us to renew our minds daily, not weekly, not monthly, not once a year, but daily, because every day new doubts, new fears, new distractions try to creep in and steal your focus. You cannot expect to walk in power, success, and purpose if you are feeding your mind with negativity, gossip, doubt, and fear. Some of you are struggling not because you're not talented, not because you're not capable, but because your mind has been filled with toxic thoughts. But today I came to tell you it's time to renew your mind. It's time to start speaking life over yourself. It's time to stop meditating on failure and start focusing on victory. It's time to stop entertaining negative thoughts and start planting seeds of faith. When you wake up in the morning, don't start your day scrolling through negativity on social media. Start your day renewing your mind. Speak life over yourself. Some people think they can't control their thoughts, but that's a lie. You can control what you dwell on. Just because a thought enters your mind doesn't mean you have to entertain it. If a bird lands on your head, you can't stop that, but you can stop it from building a nest. If a negative thought comes, cast it down. If fear tries to creep in, replace it with faith. If insecurity whispers in your ear, remind yourself of who you are in God. Stop letting your mind run wild with thoughts that don't serve you. If your thoughts are negative, anxious, fearful, and full of doubt, it's time to take control and discipline your thinking. And here's why controlling your mind is so important. Because what you think, you speak. Your thoughts become your words, and your words shape your world. If you think negative thoughts long enough, you'll start speaking negative words, and the power of life and death is in the tongue. Some of you are cursing your own future with your words because your mind is not in the right place. But if you can change your mind, you can change your mouth. And when you change your mouth, you can change your life. I came to tell somebody today, it's time to take control. No more letting fear run your life. No more letting doubt steal your dreams. No more letting negativity take up space in your mind, rent-free. Take authority over your thoughts. Choose faith over fear. Choose confidence over insecurity. Choose wisdom over foolishness. Because your mind is the battlefield. And if you win the war in your mind, you will win in life. I need you to open your heart, open your mind, and receive what I'm about to tell you, because it could be the key that unlocks the next level of your life. What you think determines who you become. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. They shape your actions, influence your emotions, and ultimately decide where you go in life. If you do not control your thoughts will control you. The battle is not in your circumstances. The battle is not in your past. The battle is in your mind. Because everything you see in your life today, every success, every failure, every breakthrough, every struggle started with a thought. Somebody needs to understand today that you are not just a product of your environment. You are a product of your mindset. It is not what happens to you that determines your future. It is how you think about what happens to you. Two people can go through the same storm. One will come out stronger and the other will come out broken. The difference is not the storm. The difference is the mindset. Your thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you plant in your mind will grow in your life. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and insecurity, you will live a life of hesitation, anxiety, and low self-esteem. If you plant seeds of faith, confidence, and determination, you will walk in power, purpose, and victory. Think about it. A farmer does not plant apple seeds and expect oranges. He does not plant weeds and expect a harvest of what he plants is what he reaps. And it is the same with your mind. What you meditate on, what you dwell on, what you allow to take root in your spirit will determine what grows in your life. Some of you are struggling right now, not because you lack ability, not because you lack opportunity, but because you have been planting the wrong thoughts in your mind. You have been speaking negativity over yourself. You have been feeding your spirit with doubt and fear. You have been allowing the voices of failure to shape your identity. Listen to me, the enemy does not have to destroy your body if he can get inside your head. If he can make you believe you are a failure, you will stop trying. If he can make you believe you are not worthy, you will settle for less. If he can make you believe you are not capable, you will never step into your calling. And if you accept those lies as truth, you will live according to them. But the Bible says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. That means you do not have to accept every thought that comes into your head. You do not have to believe every lie that the enemy speaks. You can reject the thoughts that do not serve you, and you can replace them with the truth of who you really are. Your mind is a magnet. It attracts what it focuses on. If you constantly think about problems, you will find more problems. If you constantly think about opportunities, you will find more opportunities. If you focus on what is missing in your life, you will always feel empty. If you focus on what you have, you will always feel blessed. What you think about most will show up in your life. That is why you must guard your thoughts. Do not entertain negativity. Do not allow your mind to dwell on things that steal your peace. Stop replaying past failures. Stop meditating on your fears. Stop giving space to things that keep you stuck. What you think about yourself determines how you behave. If you believe you are unworthy, you will act unworthy. If you believe you are powerful, you will walk in power. If you believe you are a failure, you will stop trying. If you believe you are victorious, you will rise up every time life knocks you down. You see, thoughts do not stay thoughts. Thoughts turn into words, words turn into actions, actions turn into habits, and habits turn into destiny. A person who believes they are destined for greatness will wake up early, work hard, and push past obstacles. A person who believes they will always struggle will procrastinate, make excuses, and settle for less. A person who believes they are loved will walk with confidence and expect good things. A person who believes they are unwanted will isolate themselves and live in insecurity. Do you see how powerful your thoughts are? Your thoughts create your reality. If you want to change your life, you must first change your mind. You cannot have a new life with an old mindset. You cannot step into a new season while holding on to old thoughts. You cannot walk into the fullness of your destiny if you are still carrying the baggage of past failures and insecurities. It is time to let go of the thoughts that are holding you back. Let go of the belief that you are not enough. Let go of the fear that has kept you stuck. Let go of the lies that have told you that you cannot succeed. It is time to replace those old thoughts with new ones. I came to tell somebody today, it is time to take control. Do not let fear run your life. Do not let negativity shape your future. Do not let the enemy steal your destiny through the power of suggestion. You have the ability to think differently. You have the power to renew your mind. You have the authority to cast down every lie and replace it with truth, because your future is waiting for you. Your breakthrough is on the other side of your mindset shift. Your next level is within reach. But you have to think differently to get there. Open your heart, open your spirit, and open your mind, because what I am about to tell you could change the course of your life. It could unlock doors that have been closed, mend relationships that have been broken, and release blessings that have been delayed. Your mouth can bring life, or it can bring destruction. Your words have power. The Bible says life and death are in the power of the tongue. That means what comes out of your mouth is not just harmless speech. It is a force that shapes your reality. What you say matters. What you declare over your life, over your family, over your future, it all carries weight. Some of you are living in the consequences of words you spoke years ago. You said, "I'll never be successful," and now you struggle to move forward. You said, "I'm not good enough," and now you live in insecurity. You said, "I always mess things up," and now you keep making the same mistakes. You see, the words you speak create the atmosphere you live in. If you speak life, you will see life. If you speak destruction, you will see destruction. Your words are like seeds. When you plant them, they grow. Every word you speak is either planting a harvest of blessing or a harvest of struggle. You cannot speak negativity and expect positivity. You cannot speak doubt and expect confidence. You cannot speak failure and expect success. I want you to think about this. A child who grows up hearing, "You are smart, you are loved, you are capable," will walk in confidence. But a child who constantly hears, "You're not good enough, you'll never amount to anything, you always mess up," will grow up struggling with self-worth. Why? Because words shape identity. And it's not just about what we say to others, it's also about what we say to ourselves. Some of you need to change your self-talk. You need to stop speaking curses over your own life. Stop saying, "I can't do this." Stop saying, "Nothing ever works out for me." Stop saying, "I'm a failure." Because every time you say it, you reinforce it. Every time you speak it, you strengthen it. And before you know it, your words have built a cage around you that you can't escape. But listen to me. Just as words can build a prison, words can also set you free. If you start speaking life, you will start seeing life. If you start declaring victory, you will start walking in victory. If you start speaking faith, you will start living in faith. It doesn't mean the battle will disappear overnight, but it does mean you will begin to shift your atmosphere. Do you understand that the enemy doesn't always have to attack you directly? Sometimes he just has to get you to attack yourself with your own words. He will plant thoughts in your mind, hoping you will speak them out loud. Because once you speak it, you give it power. He whispers, "You'll never recover from this," hoping you will say it out loud. He whispers, "You'll never be loved," hoping you will repeat it. He whispers, "You'll always struggle," hoping you will declare it. Because when you say it, you start believing it. And when you believe it, you start living it. And when you live it, it becomes your reality. That is why you must guard your mouth. Do not speak what the enemy wants you to speak. Do not declare failure when God has spoken victory. Do not speak death over a situation that God can still resurrect. Do not let your words work against you. Think about how powerful your words are in relationships. How many marriages have been destroyed because of words spoken in anger? How many friendships have been ruined because of words spoken carelessly? How many opportunities have been lost because of words spoken recklessly? You can either build someone up with your words or you can tear them down. You can either encourage, uplift, and strengthen, or you can wound, weaken, and break. Some people have been carrying the pain of words spoken over them years ago. A harsh word from a parent, a cruel comment from a friend, an insult from a loved one. It left a scar that never fully healed. That's how powerful words are. But just as words can wound, words can also heal. You can speak life into someone who is struggling. You can restore hope with your words. You can bring joy with you can change someone's entire day just by choosing to speak life instead of destruction. I don't care what the world has said about you. I don't care what the enemy has whispered in your ear. I don't care what your past says about you. It is time to take control of your mouth and start speaking life over yourself. Stop saying, I'm not good enough. Start saying, I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Stop saying, I'll never be successful. Start saying, I am more than a conqueror. Stop saying, I'll never be happy. Start saying, the joy of the Lord is my strength. You have to declare it even before you see it. You have to speak victory even in the middle of the battle. You have to declare breakthrough even while you are still in the struggle, because your words will lead you where you want to go. Some of us need to learn to control our tongues. We need to stop speaking before thinking. We need to stop letting our emotions dictate what we say. We need to stop using our mouths as weapons against ourselves and others. Some people lose opportunities because they don't know how to control their mouths. Some people destroy relationships because they don't know how to hold their tongues. Some people stay stuck because they keep speaking against their own destiny. But if you can learn to control your tongue, you can change your life. If you can learn to speak only what is wise, only what is true, only what is uplifting, you will see a transformation in your relationships, your opportunities, and your future. I came to tell somebody today, it's time to take control. It's time to stop speaking death and start speaking life. It's time to stop cursing yourself and start blessing yourself. It's time to stop declaring defeat and start declaring victory. I will speak life because your words have power. Your mouth can bring life or destruction. And today you have the choice to speak life. I need you to open your heart, open your mind, and receive this word, because it might be the very thing that shifts your life. It might be the very thing that moves you from where you are to where you are supposed to be. There is power in what you say, and there is power in what you believe. You must learn to speak victory even when you don't see it. Even when the battle is still raging, even when the breakthrough hasn't come, even when the walls are still standing in front of you, you must declare victory, because victory does not start with what you see, it starts with what you say. It starts with what you believe. It starts with what you declare. Some of you have been waiting to see the evidence of your breakthrough before you speak it, but that's not how faith works. Faith speaks before it sees. Faith declares before it manifests. Faith says, I am healed even while the sickness is still in your body. Faith says, I am blessed even when the bank account says otherwise. Faith says, I am victorious even when it looks like everything is falling apart. You cannot wait until the battle is over to start speaking victory. You must speak it right in the middle of the fight, because what you speak in the struggle determines what you see in the breakthrough. Let me tell you something. Your words set the atmosphere for your life. The way you speak will determine the way you live. If you speak defeat, you will live in defeat. If you speak fear, you will live in fear. If you speak doubt, you will live in doubt. But if you speak victory, you will walk in victory. And you wonder why things aren't shifting in your life. But let me ask you, what are you speaking? What are you declaring? What are you allowing to come out of your mouth? Because your words have creative power. You are either speaking life or you are speaking death. You are either speaking victory or you are speaking defeat. I don't care what it looks like. I need you to start speaking victory. Even if everything around you says otherwise, even if the odds are stacked against you, even if you are in the darkest season of your life, I dare you to open your mouth and declare. Because the moment you start speaking it, the atmosphere starts shifting. The moment you start declaring it, things start moving. The moment you start believing it, doors start opening. I need you to understand this. Faith is not about seeing. It is about speaking. It is about believing before you have any proof. It is about declaring victory before the battle is even won. That is why the Bible says we walk by faith and not by sight, because if you only speak what you see, you will only declare what is in front of you. You will never move beyond your circumstances. Think about the story of Joshua in the walls of Jericho. God told Joshua, march around the walls, and on the seventh day, shout. Now, from a logical standpoint, that makes no sense. You don't bring down walls with shouting. You don't win battles with words. But when they obeyed, when they spoke victory before they saw it, the walls came down. What if they had waited? What if they had said, let's see if the walls crack first, then we'll shout? No, they had to shout before they saw anything happen. And that's how faith works. You have to speak before you see. You have to declare before you witness the breakthrough, because your words create movement in the spiritual realm. Your declarations activate God's power in your life. Some of you are letting your situation dictate what you speak. You are looking at your life and saying, I don't see a way out, so I can't declare victory. But let me tell you something. Your situation does not define your victory. What you see around you does not determine what God is doing in your life. Joseph was thrown into a pit, but he still had victory. Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, but he still had victory. The three Hebrew boys were thrown into the fire, but they still had victory. Jesus was nailed to a cross, but he still had victory. So what makes you think your current situation is the end of the story? You may be in the fire, but you still have victory. You may be in the struggle, but you still have victory. You may be in the waiting season, but you still have victory. That is why you must speak it. That is why you must declare it. Because when you speak victory, you align your spirit with God's promises. You shift your focus from the problem to the solution. You move from fear to faith. The enemy knows the power of your words, which is why he wants to silence you. He wants to keep you quiet. He wants you to keep your mouth shut in the middle of the battle, because he knows that if you start speaking victory, he has already lost. That is why he attacks your confidence. That is why he fills your mind with doubt. That is why he makes you feel discouraged, because he knows that if he can keep you silent, he can keep you stuck. But today, I came to tell somebody, it's time to open your mouth. It's time to break the silence. It's time to declare victory over your life. I don't care what the enemy has told you. I don't care how bad things look. I don't care how long you've been waiting. You have the power to change your atmosphere with your words. You have the power to shift things in your favor by what you declare. I will win. I will overcome. My breakthrough is coming. My healing is on the way. Doors are opening for me. I am stepping into victory. Final charge, declare it until you see it. You may not see it yet, but speak it anyway. You may still be in the struggle, but declare it anyway. You may still be in the fight, but proclaim it anyway. Because what you speak today will manifest in your future. Speak it until the chains break. Speak it until the doors open. Speak it until the mountains move. Speak it until the victory comes. Money is one of the most powerful forces in this world. It has the ability to open doors, create opportunities, and provide security, but it also has the ability to destroy relationships, enslave hearts, and lead people down a path of destruction. The difference between whether money blesses your life or ruins it comes down to one thing. Do you control money, or does money? Money is a tool. It was never meant to be a master. It was never meant to dictate your decisions, define your worth, or determine your destiny. But far too many people have made money their master. They live chasing it, worrying about it, serving it, and even compromising their values for it. And in the end, no matter how much they have, they are still empty. But when you understand that money is just a tool, When you put it in its proper place, you can live in freedom. You can use money instead of being used by it. You can make money work for you instead of working yourself into exhaustion for money. You can see it as a resource rather than a ruler. Some people live their entire lives bowing at the altar of money. They make every decision based on finances. They choose jobs they hate just because they pay well. They compromise their morals for a bigger paycheck. They neglect their families in the pursuit of wealth. Now, don't get me wrong, money is important. We all need it to survive. We all need it to take care of our families, to build businesses, to support ministries, to create opportunities. But money should never be the thing that defines you. When money becomes a god in your life, you will never have enough. No matter how much you accumulate, you will always want more. You will always be chasing, always be striving, always be unsatisfied. But when you put money in its rightful place, when you see it as a servant instead of a master, you can use it for good. You can use it to bless others. You can use it to build, to invest, to grow, to make a difference. Because money in the hands of someone with the right heart can do incredible things. You've heard it before, money is the root of all evil. But that's not what the Bible actually says. The Bible says the love of money is the root of all evil. That means the problem isn't money itself. The problem is when money becomes your obsession. Some people think that only the rich struggle with the love of money, but let me tell you something. You don't have to be rich to be controlled by money. Some people who don't have much are still consumed by money because they think about it all the time. They worry about it, stress over it, and let it dictate their peace. And then there are people who have wealth, but aren't consumed by it. They don't let money control their hearts. They don't measure their worth by their bank account. They don't hold on to it with fear because they know that their security doesn't come from money, it comes from God. It all comes down to your heart. It comes down to what you trust. It comes down to whether you see money as a tool to be used or a God to be worshiped. If you do not learn how to control money, money will control you. It will keep you up at night. It will make you compromise your values. It will cause division in your family. It will make you chase things that don't matter while neglecting the things that do. That's why you must learn to master your money. And mastering money is not just about making more, it's about managing what you have. Some people think that if they just had more money, all their problems would be solved. But the truth is, if you don't know how to manage a little, you won't know how to manage a lot. If you don't have discipline with a small paycheck, you won't have discipline with a big one. But if you don't learn how to budget $1,000, you won't know how to budget $100,000. If you don't learn how to be generous when you have little, you won't be generous when you have much. Money doesn't change who you are. It reveals who you are. It magnifies your habits. It amplifies your character. If you are wise, disciplined, and generous when you have a little, you will be wise, disciplined, and generous when you have more. But if you are reckless, fearful, and greedy with a little, you will be reckless, fearful, and greedy with a lot. Money is a tool, and tools are meant to build. They are meant to construct, create, and cultivate. So the question is, what are you building with your money? Are you building a future for your family? Are you just spending recklessly? Are you using your money to invest in things that matter? Or are you wasting it on temporary pleasures? Are you using your money to bless others, or are you hoarding it out of fear? Too many people spend their whole lives chasing money, but they never use it to build anything meaningful. They accumulate wealth, but they have nothing to show for it in the end. But those who understand that money is a tool, use it wisely. They save, they invest, they give, they create. They don't just spend money. They make money work for them. Money cannot buy what matters most. Let me tell you something. Money can buy a house, but it cannot buy a home. Money can buy a wedding, but it cannot buy a healthy marriage. Money can buy medicine, but it cannot buy true healing. Money can buy entertainment, but it cannot buy joy. The most valuable things in life cannot be bought. The love of your family, the peace in your soul, the fulfillment of your purpose, these things come from how you live, not from how much money you have. That's why you must keep money in its proper place. You must never let it become the thing that defines your life, because in the end, no one will remember how much money you had. They will remember how you lived, how you loved, how you gave, and what you built. So today I challenge you, master your money. Use it, don't worship it. Control it, don't let it control you. Be wise with it. Be generous with it. Don't be fearful with it, because money's just a tool, and tools are meant to be used for good. So use what you have wisely. Invest in what matters. Build something that lasts. And remember, money is a great servant, but it is a terrible master. Prosperity is something that many people desire, but few are willing to develop the discipline required to achieve it. Everyone wants financial freedom, stability, and abundance, yet many people struggle because they lack the financial discipline necessary to build and maintain prosperity. Financial success is not about how much money you make. It is about how well you manage what you have. Some people earn millions but still live in financial distress, while others earn modest incomes yet build wealth over time. The difference is not just in how much they earn, but in how disciplined they are with their finances. Financial discipline is the foundation of prosperity. It is the ability to control your spending, make wise financial decisions, and plan for the future. Without discipline, money will slip through your fingers no matter how much you make. But when you master financial discipline, you take control of your future, create opportunities, and set yourself up for long-term success. The first step toward financial discipline is changing your mindset about money. Many people believe that prosperity is just about earning more, but true prosperity begins with how you think about money. If you have a mindset of poverty, even if you receive a large amount of money, you will quickly lose it. But if you develop a mindset of financial discipline, even small amounts of money can be used to build wealth. Financial discipline is not about restriction, it is about freedom. When you discipline yourself financially, you are not limiting your life, you are setting yourself up for a greater future. Instead of spending everything you earn on things that fade away, you are using your money wisely to create opportunities, security, and growth. People who lack financial discipline often live paycheck to paycheck, constantly stressed about money. They never feel like they have enough, even when their income increases, because their spending habits are out of control. But those who develop financial discipline learn how to make their money work for them, instead of working endlessly for money. One of the most important principles of financial discipline is learning to live below your means. Just because you have money does not mean you have to spend it. Many people fall into the trap of lifestyle inflation. When they make more money, they increase their spending just as quickly. They upgrade their house, buy a more expensive car, take on new debts, and before they know it, they are back to struggling financially despite earning more than before. Living below your means is not about depriving yourself, but about making intentional choices. It is about understanding that short-term sacrifices lead to long-term success. Instead of buying a brand new luxury car that comes with a high monthly payment, a financially disciplined person might choose a reliable used car and invest the savings. Instead of eating out every day, they cook meals at home and use the extra money to build their future. The goal is not to look rich, but to be financially secure. Too many people try to impress others with expensive things while secretly drowning in debt. True prosperity is not about how much you can show off. It is about the financial security and freedom you build through wise decisions. A key part of financial discipline is creating and sticking to a budget. A budget is not a punishment. It is a tool that helps you take control of your money. Without a budget, money tends to disappear, and you find yourself wondering where it all went at the end of the month. A disciplined person creates a plan for their money before they even receive it. They allocate funds for necessities, savings, investments, and giving before spending on non-essential things. This does not mean they never have fun or enjoy life. It simply means they prioritize financial stability over impulse spending. Avoid unnecessary debt. Save for future goals. Prepare for emergencies. Control your spending. Invest in opportunities. Financial discipline is about telling your money where to go instead of wondering where it went. When you live on a budget, you become intentional with every dollar you earn, ensuring that your money is working for you rather than being wasted on things that do not bring long-term value. Another major key to financial prosperity is learning how to save and invest consistently. Many people only save money when they have extra, but a financially disciplined person understands that saving is a priority, not an afterthought. Even when money is tight, they set aside something, even if it is small, because they understand that consistent saving leads to financial security. Saving money is not just about putting it in a bank account and letting it sit. It is about preparing for emergencies, building a safety net, and creating opportunities for growth. Many financially successful people understand that money sitting in a savings account will not grow significantly over time, which is why they also focus on investing. Investing is how you make money work for you, whether it is in stocks, real estate, a business, or other wealth-building assets. Financial discipline teaches you to put your money in places where it will grow. Instead of spending all your money on things that lose value, financially disciplined people invest in things that create value. A person without financial discipline spends their money the moment they receive it, while a disciplined person finds ways to multiply their money. The key to financial prosperity is not just earning money, but learning how to grow what you have. Debt is one of the biggest obstacles to financial prosperity. While some forms of debt, such as home mortgages or business loans, can be strategic, most people fall into the trap of consumer debt. Credit cards, car loans, and personal loans that come with high interest rates. Financial discipline teaches you to avoid unnecessary debt. Instead of borrowing money to buy things you do not need, you learn how to save and pay for things with cash. Instead of financing a lifestyle you cannot afford, you build wealth in a way that allows you to live freely without financial bondage. Debt keeps many people stuck in financial struggles because they are constantly paying off past expenses with their current income. But a financially disciplined person understands that freedom comes from living within your means and avoiding unnecessary financial burdens. One of the most powerful principles of financial discipline is learning to give. Many people think that giving money away will make them poorer, but in reality, generosity creates a mindset of abundance. When you give, whether it is to a charity, your community, or someone in need, you break the grip of greed and fear that money can have over you. Financial discipline allows you to be generous without sacrificing your own financial well-being. It teaches you to give wisely, making sure that your giving aligns with your financial plan. It is not about giving away everything and putting yourself in a financial crisis, but about managing your resources in a way that allows you to bless others while still building your future. Financial discipline is the foundation of true prosperity. It is not about making millions overnight. It is about making wise, consistent decisions that lead to long-term financial success. It is about living below your means, saving and investing wisely, avoiding unnecessary debt, and using your resources for good. True prosperity is not measured by how much money you have today, but by the financial freedom and security you build for the future. It is not about impressing others, it is about creating a life where money is a tool rather than a master. So I challenge you today, develop financial discipline. Take control of your money instead of letting it control you. Plan wisely, spend intentionally, save consistently, and invest with vision. Because financial discipline is not just the key to prosperity, it is the key to financial freedom, stability, and lasting success. Words are powerful. They have the ability to uplift or tear down, to heal or wound, to build relationships or destroy them. The words we speak are a direct reflection of what is happening inside us, and they often come from the emotions we are feeling in the moment. When we allow emotions to dictate our speech, we risk saying things we later regret. But a wise person understands the importance of self-control and chooses to think before speaking, control emotions before reacting, and use words intentionally. In a world where people speak without thinking, react impulsively, and allow their emotions to dictate their words, wisdom teaches a different approach. A wise person pauses, reflects, and chooses words carefully. They understand that while emotions are natural, they should never be the master of speech. One of the greatest reasons why wisdom requires emotional control before speaking is that emotions are temporary, but words last forever. Anger, frustration, sadness, jealousy, and excitement all come and go, but the words spoken in the heat of emotion can linger in someone's mind for a lifetime. Think about a time when someone said something hurtful to you in anger. Even if they later apologized, the words likely stayed with you. Words can cut deep, leaving scars long after the emotions that caused them have faded. A wise person understands this and refuses to let a temporary emotion cause permanent damage. Similarly, words spoken carelessly in excitement or haste can lead to false promises, overcommitment, or misunderstandings. In moments of enthusiasm, people may promise more than they can deliver, agree to things they are not truly prepared for, or reveal personal information that should have remained private. Wisdom teaches restraint, ensuring that words align with truth rather than temporary emotions. The ability to control emotions before speaking is one of the clearest signs of wisdom. A fool speaks first and thinks later, but a wise person thinks first and speaks only when necessary. Many people believe that speaking quickly and reacting immediately makes them strong, but in reality, true strength lies in restraint. It is easy to explode in anger, lash out in frustration, or speak impulsively when emotions are high. But it takes great strength to remain calm, assess the situation, and respond with wisdom instead of emotion. Hurt others with reckless words, make promises they cannot keep, engage in unnecessary conflicts, lose credibility and respect. But when wisdom leads, people speak with purpose and clarity, choose words that build rather than destroy, respond thoughtfully rather than react emotionally. Maintain peace in difficult situations. Earn the trust and respect of others. One of the greatest tools for emotional control before speaking is the pause. A moment of silence before speaking allows emotions to settle and wisdom to take over. Many conflicts could be avoided, relationships saved, and misunderstandings corrected if people simply paused before speaking. Instead of reacting in the heat of emotion, a wise person takes a deep breath, considers the consequences of the words, and chooses to respond rather than react. Is what I'm about to say necessary? Will my words build or destroy? By taking just a few seconds to reflect before speaking, a wise person ensures that their words align with wisdom rather than uncontrolled emotion. One of the most valuable lessons in wisdom is learning that not every emotion deserves a spoken response. Just because you feel something strongly does not mean you need to say it out loud. Many people believe that expressing every thought and emotion is a sign of honesty, but in reality, true wisdom is knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Some emotions need to be processed internally rather than expressed immediately. Anger. Instead of lashing out in the heat of the moment, process the anger privately and address the issue later with a clear mind. Jealousy. Instead of speaking words of comparison or resentment, reflect on the root of the emotion and work on self-growth. Sadness. Instead of complaining or seeking pity, take time to heal before discussing emotions with the right people. Excitement. Instead of making impulsive commitment, take time to consider the long-term impact of decisions before speaking. By filtering emotions before speaking, a wise person ensures that their words serve a purpose rather than becoming weapons of regret. The words a person speaks do not only impact others, they also shape their own destiny. Words create reality. They set the tone for relationships, influence opportunities, and establish personal reputation. A person who constantly speaks negatively, complains, and allows emotions to dictate their words will attract negativity into their life. But a person who controls their speech, chooses words of wisdom, and speaks with intention will create an atmosphere of peace, success, and respect. Avoid unnecessary conflicts that drain energy. Build stronger relationships based on trust and understanding. Attract opportunities through wisdom and good judgment. Create an environment of peace instead of chaos. Maintain dignity and respect in difficult situations. A wise person understands that their words carry weight. They do not waste words on negativity, drama, or meaningless conversations. Instead, they speak with purpose, knowing that every word has the potential to shape their future. One of the most powerful tools in controlling emotions before speaking is the ability to give a soft answer in response to conflict. When someone speaks harshly, insults, or criticizes, the natural reaction is to respond with equal force. But wisdom teaches that a gentle response diffuses tension, while an emotional reaction fuels conflict. A wise person does not allow someone else's emotions to dictate their own speech. Even when provoked, they remain calm and composed. Instead of escalating the situation, they de-escalate it with a measured response. They do not let temporary emotions ruin long-term relationships. A wise person understands that words should never be dictated by fleeting emotions. Instead of reacting impulsively, they pause, reflect, and choose their words with intention. They recognize that emotions are temporary, but words have lasting impact. Emotions should be processed before speaking. Not every thought or feeling needs to be expressed. A pause before speaking prevents regret. Gentle words diffuse conflict. Words shape reality, relationships, and opportunities. Today, I challenge you, be a person of wisdom. Do not allow temporary feelings to dictate permanent words. Instead, take control of your speech, master your emotions, and use your words to build, uplift, and inspire. Because a wise person does not let emotions lead their speech. They let wisdom guide their words. Life is a garden, and your mind is the soil. Wherever you plant in that soil, whether it be seeds of success, failure, positivity, negativity, growth, or stagnation, will eventually take root and grow. What you focus on expands, shapes your reality, and determines the direction of your life. Your thoughts, beliefs, and attention act as water and sunlight, nurturing what you dwell on the most. If you constantly focus on problems, obstacles, and negativity, they will multiply. But if you choose to focus on solutions, opportunities, and personal growth, those things will flourish in your life. The truth is, your focus is your power. It dictates your energy, your emotions, and ultimately your destiny. Have you ever noticed how when you start thinking about something consistently, it seems to show up everywhere? If you decide to buy a certain car, suddenly you see that model on the road all the time. If you start worrying about a problem, your mind begins finding more things to worry about. This is not coincidence. It is the power of focus at work. Many people fail to achieve their goals, not because they lack talent or opportunities, but because they focus on the wrong things. Instead of focusing on progress, they dwell on their shortcomings. Instead of focusing on gratitude, they magnify what is missing. Instead of looking for ways to win, they obsess over reasons they might fail. But a person who understands the principle that what you focus on grows deliberately chooses to direct their thoughts toward what they want to expand in their life. Your focus acts like a magnet, drawing in experiences, people, and circumstances that align with what you consistently think about. If you focus on lack, you will notice more lack in your life. If you focus on abundance, you will begin to attract more opportunities for wealth and prosperity. Your mind is constantly scanning for things that match the frequency of your thoughts, filtering out everything else. For example, if you focus on negativity, your brain will filter out the positive aspects of life and only show you the reasons to be unhappy. But if you train yourself to focus on gratitude, your mind will begin noticing blessings, small victories, and reasons to be joyful every day. If you focus on health and well-being, you will develop habits that support a healthy lifestyle. If you focus on personal growth, you will naturally seek opportunities to learn and improve. If you focus on fear and failure, you will hesitate, self-sabotage, and miss out on great opportunities. If you focus on success and possibility, you will take bold action and open doors to new opportunities. The key is intentional focus. Choosing every day to direct your thoughts toward what you want to expand. Attention is one of the most valuable resources you have. Wherever you place your attention, you give energy to that thing. If you constantly pay attention to distractions, your progress will slow. If you focus on things that empower and elevate you, you will grow in ways you never imagined. Many people allow their focus to be hijacked by things that do not serve them. Social media, gossip, fear-driven news, negative conversations, and pointless distractions. They give their attention to things that drain them instead of things that empower them. But a person who understands that what you focus on grows, guards their attention carefully. They make conscious decisions about what they watch, read, listen to, and engage with, knowing that these things shape their mindset and ultimately their reality. A focused mind is a powerful mind. When you eliminate distractions and direct your attention to the things that truly matter, you become unstoppable. Whatever you focus on consumes your energy. If you focus on stress, you will feel drained and overwhelmed. If you focus on growth, you will feel energized and motivated. Your energy follows your focus, which is why it is so important to be intentional about what you give your attention to. Successful people understand this principle and use it to their advantage. They do not waste their focus on complaints, comparisons, or distractions. Instead, they channel their energy into their goals, their vision, and their purpose. They understand that if they want something to grow, whether it is a business, a skill, a relationship, or a dream, they must give it their full attention. Many people wonder why their lives feel stagnant, why they are not making progress, or why they feel stuck.